Yesterday, the developers from Kuno Simulator Unique, working on the upcoming Assetto Evo, provided a small Christmas present. They posted a new video on YouTube about 6 minutes long in which, already, they show new gameplay, they show new images of the game, with little things that we had never seen until now: the menus, the customization menus. But in this 6-minute video, there are also some new information about the game. Some answers to rumors about Assetto Evo, and also, of course, a presentation of what we will have in the game. On January 16th, during its early access period, recalling that Assetto Evo will not be released in its final version until fall 2025, we will have access to the early access version. Basically, during the first few months, the game will not be finished. New content will be added gradually and bugs will be fixed based on player feedback. In this video, I therefore suggest we talk about everything that is announced in that video, knowing that there are quite a few little things that we don't necessarily see at first glance. If, of course, I've missed anything, don't hesitate to put them in the comments under this video. It will be useful for the next people who come by. And in any case, if you like the video, remember to give it a little like, and of course, subscribe for the next videos. I will soon cover Evo comprehensively, from every perspective. I'll be making plenty of news videos, gameplays, and live streams, so be sure to subscribe. Marcuma Ceruto has reconfirmed that the early access starting from January 16th, 2025 will include 20 vehicles and 5 circuits. We were able to see, through this new gameplay, some new vehicles, or some vehicles that we hadn't really been able to see in as much detail in previous gameplays, like the MG Grand Tourer, also the Audi RS3, and the M2 CS. In this video, Marco Ceruto was encircled by genuine cars, including a Honda NSX and other new vehicles, but also the confirmation that the 5 circuits available on early access will be Mount Panorama, Suzuka, Brands, Hatch, Imola, and Laguna CK. Marco Ceruto is still aiming for a final game release, version 1.0 in the fall. In 2025, about 8-10 months from now, the game will receive a significant amount of new content. Since, by the version, the game will have 100 vehicles and 20 circuits. As you may have realized, we will likely see an average of 10 new vehicles added per month, and possibly 1 or 2 circuits depending on the update. Updates may not be monthly, but that's the average. 20 vehicles may seem small initially, but if we have 40 or 50 after 3 months, it's a different situation. We also got to see the game menus. Not all of them, of course, but at least the main menu, with the player's username, with the currency, since we will indeed have credits in the game. But we've known that for a little while now. We also saw the car customization menus, which were shown relatively quickly. In my opinion, it's still a work in progress, and they wanted to show a bit without revealing too much. We have confirmation that we will have exterior customizations, interior customizations, and that we will indeed have the option, for example, to choose from different manufacturer options. Like in this sequence, we see the Mercedes AMG Grand Tourer. We can see that there is the normal AMG Grand Tourer exterior aesthetic version. The performance, there is the Aeropack, there are the official rims. In my opinion, what we see here is just a small part of what we'll be able to customize in the game. It will likely depend on the cars as well. But we know that in the game, thanks in particular to the open world system, we will be able to access shops around the Nürburgring to buy equipment for the cars. So, in addition to the official customizations, there will be parts, let's say equipment that simply comes from the tier brand. So, he confirmed it during this early access, we won't have it. At the beginning, the renowned open world, located around the Nürburgring, will span 1,600 square kilometers measuring 24.85 miles by 24.85 miles. It's colossal. It's laser scanned, so high level of precision, and we will really be able to recognize the real places. The Nürburgring event will feature roleplay and real businesses, resulting in a chaotic atmosphere. Check out the video thumbnail I'm including for all the details about this open world. What we know is that this open world will not be available from January 16th. We'll have to wait until summer 2025, and it will arrive little by little. That is to say that in the summer 2025. The exact area is unknown, but it could be anywhere from 100 to 1,600 square kilometers. Updates will gradually add new areas over time. There will be areas dedicated to off-road, suggesting that Assetto Corsa is likely working on off-road physics. Early access will initially focus on solo play, without multiplayer support. There will be 3 modes: Quick Race against Artificial Intelligence Training Mode against the clock, and Driving School Mode in Driving Academy. You will pass licenses to acquire increasingly high-performance cars, similar to Gran Turismo. So, it already has an interest for players who, like me, love to try hard, for example, on Gran Turismo, the gold licenses. But it has a second interest. It's that they know well that, precisely with this open world side, it will probably attract a new target, a new category of players who, before, were not necessarily interested in this body of it because they preferred the open world, and that it will be useful for them to learn to drive and have a guide on the trajectories, on the driving techniques, to then go to multiplayer. Precisely, because it's something that has been quite hammered in these new images. In this new 6-minute trailer, many players were slightly frightened. In other words, Assetto Corsa falls into the arcade and mainstream categories by presenting this new open world. Marco Massarotto repeated in this trailer that the game really had an objective to be as realistic as possible, and that, thanks in particular to their new physics engine. And they showed it well once again in this trailer. The cars really have reactions that we don't see in more arcade games, whether it's sliding, surface changes, suspension, and tire reactions. So, of course, I know, for those who followed my channel for a few months last year, and those who were perhaps waiting, especially in Forza Motorsport, may have a bit of a post-traumatic syndrome. This trailer is disappointing since Motorsport really let us down. By telling him the same kind of things, precisely emphasizing the reaction of the suspensions and tires, to propose a game in the end, with a physics not great. Here, we are at Kuno Simulator. Sony and them, precisely, have specialized in simulations. Assetto 1 and Assetto Competition are already games that were very realistic for their time, and I have an excellent experience with them. So, no fear to have, no worry to have about the level of driving. It will be very realistic, and, in the end, it will be a bit of the best of both worlds. I've often heard players say it would be awesome to have an open-world game with highly realistic physics. With Assetto Corsa Evo, I feel like that day is finally approaching, and it's truly a pleasure. The first influencers and content creators tested Assetto Corsa Evo at various conferences, where the game was still in pre-alpha, so with slightly outdated versions, which did not yet have, let's say, the latest physics updates. They themselves say that they were quite impressed by the general driving level. They also discussed the graphics again, as many are now somewhat obsessed with graphics. And there you have it, he reassured everyone by saying that he was using a new engine that was developed by Assetto. This game will not be based on Unreal Engine, unlike Assetto Competition. It will use DirectX 12, allowing for significantly improved visual details. And that the game will have, for example, very beautiful effects. Weather, very beautiful rain effects. So the weather, it's special. Because in addition, it will really be linked to the game's physics, with a much more advanced management than on Assetto 1 or Competition. But even at the level of the graphic rendering of the rain, we can see that it's nice, that the drops look like drops, and they don't necessarily follow an algorithm, let's say pre-rendered. It will still be quite beautiful. The cars appear to be exceptionally well designed, especially their interiors. It won't use Unreal Engine, which should reassure virtual reality players. Reportedly, virtual reality in Assetto Competition is even more unpleasant than in Assetto due to the Unreal Engine, one that, however, came out 10 years earlier. Now, the big question is, will it be well optimized? Will it be easy to run or not? The first content creators who can test the game, again, at trade shows say that, well, it was still a bit blurry. It was still a bit buggy and laggy in terms of frame rate. But since these were slightly older versions and that it's already a few months old, we can hope that it will be cleaner and even more fluid. Several exciting new images of the game have been released, including menus and other details. Personally, I've been very eager for this since 2016. Since the day I made videos about racing games, I've maybe asked for it 50 times. This style of game. An open world with realistic driving, where we can ride together with viewers. January 16th, 2025 is the initial release date, but the famous open world will be added sometime in summer 2025. To be continued. Very eager to test it and do some gameplay. I hope this video has reassured you a bit. If Arcade developed a side game, it could have been more realistic in terms of graphics and gameplay. I'll be streaming a lot on Twitch tonight and in the upcoming days. Feel free to join me at follow to get notified when the live starts and discuss various topics related to cars, racing games, and gaming in general. So come follow, come use your Prime, of course, to give a little boost to the channel. There will be console versions, there might even be console modes. But for now, nothing has been confirmed in terms of date. So you're going to have to be a bit patient. And that's how it is, let's say, with most games. There you go. Personally, I'm very, very eager to play it, and I hope you are too. We will meet again tonight, as I told you, live, for a little bit of gameplay. We will meet again tomorrow with also some news. With some good little news. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow live. Bye.